Happy 4th of July and welcome to Tech Tuesday. Yes, we are here today. Us techies, we never get a day off, but we are thrilled to be here. We love what we're doing. And before I bring on my guest today, I want to go ahead and first introduce myself. My name is Abbie. I'm the host of Tech Tuesday, the founder of Senior Savvy, and you can find me right here every Tuesday talking with people who are engaged in tech innovation as it relates to senior living. Today, I've got a super guest. I can't wait to bring him on. But before we do that, let's run our intro. Welcome back to Tech Tuesday. I am really excited to bring my guest on today. So without further ado, welcome back to Tech Tuesday, Burton Kelso.
Hey, Abbie, how are you doing today?
Thrilled that you're here.
Thank you.
I'm thrilled that you're here. You have been on before. You'll be back again, and you're a colleague. And so we do see on the same page very like-minded folks here. So welcome to Tech Tuesday.
Thanks. I'm excited. Hopefully, you and I will get to shoot off some fireworks and get to eat some good barbecue later on, right?
Yeah, you got it. We're already dressed for it, so we're ready to go. Well, Burton, I'd like to go ahead and introduce our viewers to you and talk about the things that you've been involved in within the past 6 to 8 months, please.
Okay, so I had to be like you, Abbie, and go out and do a TED talk. So I did a TEDx on our topic today, which is actually Chat GPT and AI. When I'm not speaking, I am the owner of a company called Integral. So we're basically like geek squads for seniors and other people out there, helping them get the most out of their technology. And I always like to say this: I love technology. I've read all the manuals, and I'm serious about making technology fun, safe, and easy to use for everyone.
I love it that you say you've read all the manuals. I don't know a lot of other people who could say that. I've read all the manuals. And so I want to ask you a question. It's totally off topic. When you get a new piece of technology, do you immediately read through the manual first, or do you just break into it?
I break into it and then I end up reading the manuals when I get stuck or later on to make sure that I set it up correctly.
Okay. And manual reading and instructions, like that's a whole other level of brain work, right?
It is, yeah, because a lot of times your manuals will read like stereo instructions where it's just super complicated and it was written in the words of an IT professional rather than just an average person trying to use their tech devices.
Now, there's a TED Talk right there, rewriting the manual so people can understand them, right?
I agree. That would be a good one.
Very good. Okay, so you did talk about ChatGPT and AI in your TED Talk. Tell us a little bit about that, if you would, please.
Yeah, so ChatGPT, which stands for Generative Pre-trained Transformer, is basically geek speak for an AI model that knows how to receive language in natural language, meaning the way humans speak, and it's able to output that information in a way that we can easily understand. The great thing about ChatGPT and its other text AI forms is that we're able to have conversations with these forms of AI as opposed to just doing a Google search looking up for information on any topic. The great thing about ChatGPT, Bing Chat, and Bard Chat, which is by Google, is all of these forms of AI will allow you to just have conversations and you can look up and find answers to just about anything with these pre-trained AI models.
I'm so glad that you explained what the GPT means. It's such an unusual abbreviation. I've had to look it up about 5 times myself just to remember exactly what it is. So thank you for explaining that. And as we do on Tech Tuesday, we are mainly talking to people who are in senior living. We're talking to operators. We're talking to other people who are developing technology, and we're reaching sales and marketing executives and people at senior living. So let's make this as practical as possible, because I want to say, even though I did a TED Talk on AI last year, all the pieces did not really come together for me until I started putting them in action. So yeah, you can read on any given day about AI and chat and all this stuff. But when you start putting it in action, that's where the power really takes over. And so if you're a person who's just starting to think about this, maybe doesn't really want to do it, but does want to do it so that you can be relative, and where should you start?
I would say probably the best place to start would be with Chat GPT. But Abby, the problem is that not everyone can get to it. And the reason being is that you've got Chat GPT from OpenAI, you've got Bing Chat, which is through Microsoft and is great for people with Microsoft accounts. And then you've got Bard, which is Chat GPT a la Google. So
Yeah.
you kind of have to pick your poison. So if you're a Google user, then maybe you want to go with Bard. If you're a Microsoft user, then maybe you want to go with Bing Chat. But then finally, to make sense for everybody, it's easy just to go with Chat GPT. And let me screen share here if I can figure this out.
I'm sure you can. You're
I'm
the tech
sure
guy.
I can. Right. I know. There we go. You should be seeing Chat GPT, which is the main screen here. So you can go to Chat GPT by going to OpenAI or chat.openai.com. The website's free. And once you sign up with an account with either a Microsoft account or with your Google account or just with your own email address, you're brought to this main interface here, which allows you to just type in anything that you wanted to know. So today we can say, hey, tell me about the 4th of July. If I could spell July right. Once I hit the little go button, you will give it a few seconds. And as you can see, instantly, ChatGPT is going to bring up information about the 4th of July. Now, this works a lot better as far as using a AI interface, because if you were normally looking up information, you would have to go to Google. And we all know how challenging it is to go to different websites and to find the information that we want when we're doing Google searches. But with ChatGPT, with Bard, which I'm going to show here in a few seconds, I hope. Did that show up, Bard, or let me do another screen share? Let me stop.
Yeah, for me, what I first started to do was use Bard, and I started
really?
Practicing on Bard first. And yeah, I just thought, you know what, I've heard enough about it. I'm going to go ahead and try Bard. And I signed up, and right away, as you'll see when Burton runs an inquiry, right away, or what will generate are not just one, but 3 drafts. So I love this about Bard. Go ahead and show us. And in this situation, please pretend that you are a sales and marketing professional in senior living.
Right. So the good thing that Abby brought up about Bard is that you do get 3 different drafts that you can work with. The other thing from the website interface that may be appealing from a lot of people with Bard is the fact that you've got your little microphone here. So most of us have cameras with built-in microphones or maybe a standalone mic, but you can definitely have more of that I'm talking to a computer like in Star Trek experience with Bard, and you don't necessarily get that with Chat GPT. But it's great as far as the different drafts and the fact that you can use your own voice to interact with Bard. But again, Bard works just like Chat GPT, where you can put in information about anything and get stuff back. Now, from a marketing standpoint, you could actually have Bard, Chat GPT, and Bing Chat bring up great marketing information. So if you wanted an awesome social media post, then you could tell it to generate a social media post for you. Looking for copy for that website, you can definitely go to Bard, Bing Chat, or Chat GPT and ask it to generate website copy for you using, and even have it use great SEO so that your website will be better seen when people are looking for you on the internet. Same thing with social media. You can tell it to enter in hashtags so that you get relevant hashtags that work with your senior living community and people that are trying to find your facility. So, I mean, it's awesome.
like I said, I was using Bard and I was pretty happy with it. For me, I'm not a writer, and I'm not getting graded right now either for anything I'm writing. Are you?
Oh, I do pretty good. And
You do pretty good. Okay.
yeah, Abbie, I was going to bring up one other thing too. If we can go
Mhm.
back to that screen share, and
Yeah.
I'm going to flip before or between ChatGPT and Bing, or not Bing Chat, but Bard. But as you can see, uh, with most of your generative AI situations, it's pulling information from either the database or the internet. The great thing about Bard, especially from a marketing standpoint, if you need to quote sources, you can see the sources where it's pulled up this information, tells you where it's come from. So it's Facebook, Wikipedia, and
Mhm.
another Facebook page. If let me switch back to Chat GPT, and you don't necessarily get that with Chat GPT, it's kind of a guess of where that information is going to come from. And so you don't know where your sources is. And that's one of the main things that you have to worry about with Chat GPT is the fact that you don't necessarily know where the source is coming from as far as the information that's brought up.
True, true. So in the sales and marketing world, for instance, if you're writing a post, you want to write a post for Facebook, and you want people to know that today your community is open. Come on in. We're going to have 4th of July activities going on all day long. And, if you're able to type that into the query form and into the search form, you'll be able to get, if you do it on Bard, 3 different options that you can use from, that you can pull from. You can mix and match if you want to. And for me, I got to tell you, this is a huge help, because sometimes just writing and getting started on the writing and knowing which points I should cover is a challenge for me, and one I prefer not to have to do. So and a lot of sales and marketing people, they're much more in person, and they want to talk with people and they want to connect with people. And sometimes getting this content out could be a real challenge. Can we do something like go to Chat GPT and let's ask it to write a 4th of July post? But when we do that, here's something I learned that really turned everything on end. What I learned are the prompts, the power of the prompts. Have you found that as well?
Oh, definitely. When you use any of the forms of AI, it doesn't matter if it's text to image or text to creation of whatever I want to do in Bard or Chat GPT. The power of prompts is a big difference as far as the type of output that you get. And when we
Mhm.
talk about prompts, we're talking about the words that you put in for what type of output that you want. So you could say, hey, help me create a flyer for a 4th of July celebration. But you could also add on to that prompt, I need it to be 200 words, and I needed to kind of have a fun flair in the text. And once you put all that information in as a prompt, then it will generate it for you. And then you can pick and choose if you want to go with that or not. Now with Bard, obviously you get the different drafts. So you've got 3 options to look at immediately. But with ChatGPT, you can continue the conversation and tweak it until you get the end results that you want.
100%. So let's go ahead and bring up that Chat GPT screen. And I want to show you how I pump my prompts. Okay.
Are you gonna read something for me to put in?
Yeah. If you
Yeah,
want to,
let's
but
do it. Let's do it.
what I do is I pump the prompt. So I tell the robot, or I tell it who it is. Okay. And I pump it up. I'll say something like, you are the best social media copywriter in the world. I always pump it up and I tell it who it is. So it's like, bar none, you're the best. Uh, Write me a short, because I don't know. I don't think people read. Honestly, people don't read. Okay. So
Right.
and everything I get back from chat is lengthy. It's way too long. Write me a short, witty, concise, cheerful.
Oh
Face it.
yeah, see, I'm gonna spell concise wrong. Hold on,
That's
we've
okay.
got
It
the
doesn't matter. And
other
it doesn't
AI.
matter. It
And that's
doesn't.
the other thing I was going to go is like, well, even if we misspell it, it's going to figure out what you're going to say.
Yeah,
So I
exactly.
corrected it, but go ahead, Abbie.
That's okay. I feel I would want to do it too, but it's okay. It doesn't care. So, we got witty, we got short. So, okay, we'll get right back to that, Frederick, in just a second. So, witty, short, concise Facebook post for an interested a person who is interested in visiting our community, our senior living community. Now, I also do this because I want to get it right the first time, right? I usually say something like, title it with a subject that's catchy and it's got emojis in all caps. And then I'll say something at the end like, use a CTA for more information.
Okay, so title it with a subject that's what?
Catchy, in caps, with emojis.
And then what was the final?
End it with a CTA about getting in contact with me today.
Now I'm going to copy this and do this.
In Bard too, yeah.
In Bard.
So,
and
now
I'll also do Bing Chat as well, because we can't forget about Bing.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Let's see what we get from that.
Okay, so I've copied it, and let me scroll down a little bit. Here we go.
Now it's generating. Woohoo! Good.
And see, it even threw the hashtags in there without you knowing, because it knows that you were posting on social media.
Contact me today. Okay, good. So I can't read it all because it's a little small. But to me, visually, it looks like it's got a lot of those pieces in place, right?
Yeah, it's got the emojis. It's got the capital. It's got a lot of elements. Here, let me zoom in.
Oh, okay, very good. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I like it. I'm pleased with this. So as a sales and marketing director, when you got to come up with this stuff, it's hard. But when you input it properly to one of these chats, one of the GPTs, you get a lot from it. So let's see what we got from Bard now.
Okay, so I've pasted the text in. And see the thing, okay, Bard did do it a little quicker. Now, some of the things that it didn't do was the subject. It's not all in caps. Let me zoom that in, Abbie.
Yeah, I see.
There you go. But what other thing I wanted to do was to scroll up. Well, let me go out. I wanted to show the drafts. So let me go down to 110. Where'd our drafts go?
I saw them up top.
Oh, there they are, right here.
Yeah, there you go. Goodie.
So there's draft 2 and then draft 3.
Yeah, and if you like, for instance, one of these points, if you like it, you could always say to the prompt, you can always type in, I like the first and second point. Focus on those two by giving more details. Right? So
right.
Yeah, you can get more. And if it's too long, you can say, this is too long.
Exactly. And so that's the great thing that I think a lot of people don't realize with AI, especially this form, is that you can just have conversations with it like in real time. But it's very important to get on your prompts in order to make sure that you get the content that you want. And the good thing about all of them is that you can stay on subject and don't have to re-type out what you want. As long as you're in your query, you can just say, hey, well, why don't you take out the last sentence or add a couple of more hashtags in order to just make sure that it's going to be on point with what you're trying to get.
Yeah, there's one other thing I want to say that I think is amazing is in Chat GPT, you can tell it to write in a certain voice. So if you want it to write as if it's Chip Connolly, right? And so Chip is he's the founder of the Modern Elder, right?
Right.
And so a lot of people in senior living follow him. They like his voice. If you want to ask ChatGPT to write in the voice, and I don't know if Bard does it as well, but I know ChatGPT does. Write in the voice of Chip Connolly and Ken Dykewald, right? And write in the voice of Steve Moran, right? So like I want it to be like Steve Moran is saying it. You
Right.
could do that. And then the chat GPT is going to write it as if Steve Moran is saying it.
Here, I take it a step further. I use the
Mhm.
fictional character of Spock. So can you see
Okay.
what I did with that? A Vulcan retirement community for the logical mind. So logical beings of Earth, I'm informed. So yeah, it definitely changes the voice, and you can have fun with it too. So it doesn't matter if it's a real life person or a fictional person. You can definitely get your, you can get your information out of it.
Love it. Also, what I've noticed is that you could go to ChatGPT and you can say, what are the pain points? So, as a salesperson, you want to know what your customers' pain points are, right? What
Mhm.
are the pain points for someone who's looking to move into a senior living community? And then it will generate those pain points. And then, based on those pain points, you can choose pain point number 2 and come up with a narrative around pain point number 2, and you can start using these every single day of the week to get more and more people engaging your social media.
Exactly. Here you go. And Bard is, it seems like the more that we're using Bard, the more it's working a lot quicker. I know Chat GPT sometimes will beat it as far as the speed, but I mean, what's 1 or 2 seconds? But there you go. There's the pain points.
And there you have a week worth of content based on each individual pain point, right?
Right.
So Frederick wrote in a little while ago. He wanted to know what the not knowing the source of the information. How do you feel about that,
Are
Burton?
you? Oh yeah. So as far as the not knowing the source information on Chat GPT, you need to verify, not necessarily trust, but you definitely need to verify that the information is correct. Because one of the things that Abbie and I haven't touched upon yet is that although it will generate great content for you, when you're looking for information from a particular source, you definitely need to verify the information first before you post it to make sure that the database is pulling the information correctly. Because back when ChatGPT first came out, I was able to chat GPT myself and see what information came out. And it was just, I don't know who that guy was. I mean, a lot of it was correct, a lot of it was just wrong. And it just didn't work out well. So always verify before you post, because aren't there a couple of court cases now where people just decided to use the database as their own personal search engine and got information that was wrong, and it's coming back to bite them. So
Yeah. What other, as we're going through this, do you have any other tips or tricks you want to share with us in this great, big, wide world of Chat GPT and AI?
oh, definitely. So any information that you're going to use as far as ChatGPT on your smartphone, because a lot of people want to use ChatGPT to go. One of the advantages of the Authentic app of ChatGPT is that you can use your voice within ChatGPT on your iPhone and your iPad. Now, keep in mind that the only official ChatGPT app is only available for iPhone devices. Now, if you're wanting to use a Chat GPT type app for your smartphones, then you can download the Bing app from Microsoft. And Bing actually has the Microsoft Bing chat built in that you can use, and it works just like Chat GPT. The interface is pretty easy to use, and it works the same as like Chat GPT. But beware, there are a ton of bogus fleeceware apps out there that you can get in trouble with, because the whole purpose is to integrate ChatGPT into the app, and you are paying a lot of money. Sometimes it's $6 a week. Other times it's $300 a year for some of these bogus apps out there, and they're designed to fleece you out of your money, and with you not knowing that there's only one or actually two apps that you can use for ChatGPT for your smart devices. So beware.
Beware. And anything else in regards to sales and marketing professionals, just using chat to create landing pages, using chat to create presentations, anything like that?
Yeah, definitely. And when we talk about chat GPT and AI, we can't just focus on, say, chat GPT and Bard and other websites like it. If you want to get into graphics, OpenAI has created Dolly. Well, actually, Dolly came out in 2021, but it's a graphical user interface that allows you to transform text into images. And let me share that real quick so that you can see how that is all going to work out. But like Abbie was saying with Dolly, you need to make sure that you're using your prompts correctly to get the images that you want.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got Dolly up on screen share, I hope.
Yeah, it's there.
You see it? Well, not well. I see Dolly to the main page.
Mm-hmm.
Let me stop and share my current page, and then we'll get it up. But again, it's with prompts when you go through and use Dolly to make sure that you're getting the images that you want. So there's Dolly, and here are some AI generated images that you can use for just about anything. Sometimes you could generate AI images just to post on social media to get feedback on your post. You can also use Dolly to create banners for your website or for your social media channel. You could, if you're trying to come up with a new logo for your senior living or other business, you can use Dolly to generate images. But again, if we click on Surprise Me, look at the prompt that it's thrown out. So it wants to do a sunlit indoor lounge area with pool, with clear water, blah, blah, blah.
Take me there.
Let's generate. And after a few seconds, with your generative text, it will bring up the image that you want. And the other good thing about Dolly is that you can upload images as well that you want AI to manipulate. So it's a very powerful tool that you can use in marketing for your senior living or other business that you may have. And there you go. For
Awesome.
images. And the good thing about Dolly too is that, like ChatGPT, it'll keep your queries from past, and you can go back and you can edit those and tweak those. So that way it's always there. You can work with it and you can cater it, or it will cater to your needs as far as your graphical needs for your marketing for your whatever facility you're doing.
Love it. I love it. Anything else we want to add to this conversation before we wrap up here today?
No, just the sky's the limit. Play around with it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's free. I mean, don't hesitate to using either Dolly or Chat GPT or any of the forms of Chat GPT to find out how you can up your marketing game. If you are a marketer, you can definitely use it to market your game. If you're a senior living facility, definitely just take the time and play with it and get to know it, because the whole idea is that you can put in human language in it and it will generate it back to you.
Right. And what I recommend you do is, when you start getting that idea in mind, like, oh my gosh, I got to write that post. Oh my gosh, I got to put together this one sheet. Oh, I got to do this. Oh, I want you to, instead of thinking of who can do this for me or what do I have to do, instead think about how can I use some of these tools to do it for me. And this is really where you're going to find that you save a ton of time and money by leveraging the power of AI.
I agree. Yeah. I mean, it definitely is a time saver. So if you have writer's block or you just want to get something done pretty quickly and get back to the nature of your business, utilize these AI tools. So that way you're just not spinning your wheels for hours trying to come up with content for social media or website copy, or even if you're doing a podcast, generate scripts for podcasts.
Yeah, it does. It'll generate a whole season's worth of scripts for podcasts for you and a whole lot of other things. So, use it as a launching pad, use it, like Burton said, to get ideas, to get you one step closer to your goal faster, right?
Yeah. Abbie, I was going to add one last thing.
Sure.
Any seniors out there, I think this would be an awesome tool for seniors to use in order to just help them find something to do, because a lot of times when seniors are in long-term care facilities, I mean, they may run out of activities. So introduce it to seniors, let them figure out graphics, or if they're looking for tips and tricks for anything, introduce them to some form of chat and let them go have at it.
Yeah, we did that like last month or the month before. I asked my students, because I'm teaching every week on different topics, and I said, how many of you are interested in this? Would you like to know more about it? Are you hearing about it all the time? And they all raised their hands and they were interested. So we talked mainly about using Bard to help you write things like committee updates, right? To help you write like a Christmas letter, or to help you put together a list of activities, for instance. And they were just blown away. And I didn't get any techier than that. Like, I just used it to write things. If you got to write a letter to your daughter, you don't know how to get started, talk about, what's in storage, who knows what, we just kept it really basic, very relevant, and we did not get techie.
Well, yeah, that's the whole idea. And I think overall, our current forms of AI are trying to get us away from our devices and help us enjoy lives. The whole idea is to help make technology make our lives easier. And I think essentially overall technology, that's the whole point. It's designed to make our lives easier.
Yeah, 100%. Well, Burton, how can people get in touch with you when they have more questions?
I was going to say Google me. A few months ago, I could have said you can look me up on chat, but realistically, you can go to my website, burtonkelso.com, and I'm on all of the social media channels out there, including TikTok.
Right on. So reach out to Burton if you have any questions whatsoever. He'll be able to answer them for you. And we want to thank those folks who are in our audience today. Thank you for joining us. We so appreciate your input and your participation into the conversation. And we hope everyone here has a safe 4th of July, and we'll see you back here next week.